Alright, I'm recording this video just a couple hours after the video that I made talking about the Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis trade, as well as the De'Aaron Fox and Zach LaVine trade. However, since then, which was just 6 hours ago, there has been so many things that have came out. And a couple things, just to recap here, the Luka and AD one, that video is going to be posted. This one, it'll come out a little bit after that, or maybe the next day. Not sure yet. It just depends what keeps coming on out as this trade deadline approaches. There's 3 days left, 2 days once this video goes up, or maybe even less depending if I wait to do even more things in this video. So we'll have to see. But just to recap the Luka trade, Luka got robbed of an extra $113 million because his Supermax deal is no longer eligible with the Mavericks because you have to be with them for 7 seasons and all these other criteria you have to meet, and you got to be on the same team that whole time. And since I traded him, he's no longer eligible for that, so they don't want to pay him that in the offseason. I think that probably had a part to do with getting rid of him, which is still a shame. But he will still be able to get a supermax he'll be able to get a max extension with the Lakers, but not a supermax. That would be higher. So he goes from, I don't remember the exact number, but 300 and something million down to like 270, I believe, somewhere in there, which is still crazy good money for a player of his caliber. But I mean, that's just wow. I mean, he's got to be a little upset, getting snubbed that money. But on top of that, apparently the Mavericks are also looking into giving Kyrie a new contract extension at the end of this season, meaning that they do plan to keep him. For how long, who knows? Probably be something with him and Anthony Davis. They'll probably try and work out their contracts to be about the same. Shy away from the NBA trade talks for just a moment. Let's talk about the NFL trade talks. Just a couple hours ago, it was actually released that Cooper Kupp has been informed by the Rams that they are looking to trade him. And since they've been looking to trade him, he's already said his farewells to his team. He's already posted on social media saying that they have released a statement saying they want to trade him. And where's he going to go? I mean, honestly, as a fan of the Chiefs, obviously I would love for him to go to the Chiefs. I mean, think about it. He would be amazing. He would fit right into the system. However, he's going to cost a pretty penny, and the Chiefs already have plenty of people they're going to have to pay within the next 2 years. I just don't know if it'll be possible unless he's willing to take a pay cut or if we get rid of someone else. And to be honest, I don't think the Chiefs really want to do that. I'm sure they would love to have him on the squad, but I don't know that they would necessarily want to get rid of anyone for him. So let's look at other options. Where else could he go? Honestly, I have no idea where he could end up. Maybe the Bengals, just because they have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and maybe they could use T. Higgins as some trade leverage with some other people, which T. Higgins is still a baller, so I don't know that they'd really want to do that. Other than that, though, off the top of my head, I can't really think of teams that would have the trade assets for it to bring him in and still be able to have a solid roster around him without giving up almost everything. So it's going to be tough. Who knows where he's going to end up. Once more stuff gets released on this, I will let you guys know. Again, I'm just interested in this right now. All this trade talk between the NFL and the NBA, it's got my attention. So I had to make a video. It's got me on a leash. All right, circling back to the NBA trade talk, though. Couple different things with the Warriors. In fact, a lot of things. The most recent one, however, is the fact that they are wanting to bring in Kevin Durant and LeBron James to Golden State to join Steph. However, I think we can all confidently say that this will not happen. I don't see LeBron leaving LA since I just got Luka. I think this will actually increase his chances of playing in the NBA for an extra year. That way he gets to play with Luka for a whole season, see what they can do, mentor him a little bit, set him up. And Kevin Durant, the Warriors talked to the Suns just last week about Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and they already informed them that they are both not up for trade. But who knows? The Warriors may be bringing something different to the table this week, really trying to bring them in. They're pretty much in talks with every superstar that you can think of, trying to get Curry some help, which I mentioned in that Luka and AD video that's exactly what they need to do. They need to get Curry some help. They're just kind of wasting him away right now. So if they want to win with him on the team still, they need to make a move now. And it looks like they're trying to do that before the end of this trade deadline. Unfortunately for them, however, it doesn't seem like anybody else wants to necessarily make a trade with them, which makes it tough. For example, they looked into bringing Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic to Golden State, but ended up going away from these trades to pursue other ones. In my opinion, if you could get both of those players on your squad, I don't know what they'd have to give up, okay? They'd probably have to give up, for those two, Andrew Wiggins, maybe Draymond, probably not, though the Bulls probably wouldn't want him. But for sure, Wiggins, I would say. And then, I mean, what? Von Looney, maybe, and one of your younger players. So you'd have to give up 3 people to get both of them, which wouldn't be bad. However, Andrew Wiggins is still a solid player on the squad. So getting rid of him for Zach LaVine, it'd basically be like a 1-for-1 trade. And then you get Vucevic, but you'd have to give up 2 pieces for him. So with that said, these trades have obviously fallen through, as Zach LaVine has already been traded to the Kings. But technically, you could still say that Nikola Vucevic is on the table. However, it's not going to happen. The Bulls, they're stuck in mid right now. Okay, they're not good enough to contend, especially now that they got rid of Zach LaVine. But they're also not bad enough to tank for the draft. They're just stuck in the middle. They're mid. With this said, since the Warriors cannot get these trades to go through, they've had to move on. And most recently, just 30 minutes ago, it was posted saying that they're showing interest in Zion Williamson and LaMelo Ball. Personally, as a Warriors fan, I like this. Those would be 2 great pieces to bring in along Steph. Yes, Steph and LaMelo are both point guards, but I think they would work perfectly together. You watch LaMelo out there, he's literally playing like he's at open gym, still in high school. He doesn't have a care in the world. He's a nonchalant hooper, literally. Like, he's the most nonchalant hooper. He just put up one-legger threes and make them all day long. And you pair this with Steph, you could have either of them bring it up the court. Now, let's just say you get rid of Dennis Schroeder in this situation, okay? You bring it up the court with either one of them. Doesn't matter who's bringing it up. Okay, they're both solid point guards. Steph is probably the best point guard ever. And then LaMelo is solid. So you bring it up with either of them. You can have the other one running off screens or Eddie Curry, doing his normal thing he already does. Or you could have LaMelo doing it, or you could have them be the distraction, and then you can get Brandon Podziemski open if he's on the team still. Again, with all these trades, I just don't know who would be traded away and who would be kept, so it's hard to say. Moving on to Zion, the pieces they'd have to give up for Zion, again, I think it would have to be Andrew Wiggins and somebody else, and maybe even a draft pick in there. That's just my opinion, or it could just be draft picks. However, I don't see the Pelicans doing that. They've got a couple solid young players, but they are well, actually, I could see that happening because they aren't that great. But Zion is by far their best piece when he's healthy. However, you work him into the Warriors system. Let's just say they get both Zion and LaMelo for this situation. Zion, LaMelo, Curry, and whoever's left on the team, you got those 2 starters, okay? They'd still be solid, whether it's Quentin Post or Grimes or Brandon Podziemski or Dennis Schroeder or Kevin Von Looney, Draymond Green when he gets back from his injury. I mean, you name it, they would still be fine with those 3 pieces. They could manage. And again, since I'm a Warriors fan, I would love to see this happen. This would be awesome. Zion is an electric player to watch with all those dunks. LaMelo, he's just fun to watch on the Hornets, at least, because they're just out there having fun pretty much. The Hornets are an entertaining team. They might not have the best record, but they are entertaining. In other news, just 2 days ago on February 1st, the Clippers actually got Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills from the Jazz, and the Jazz got Mo Bamba and PJ Tucker, along with a 2030 second-round pick and cash considerations. I think the Jazz won this trade. Patty Mills is old. Drew Eubanks, he'll just be a role player for the Clippers. Right? I don't think he's actually going to find minutes, or maybe he'll just be a trade piece they have for someone else. But the Jazz get PJ Tucker, who he's older now, so not really worried about him. But Mo Bamba, he looked not awful when he played for the Clippers so far this season, which is surprising to say because I feel like he hasn't had the success that people expected him to have when he got to the NBA. But on the Jazz, I think this could work out, or again, he might just be another trading piece because they do have Walker Kessler at center. They've got Kyle Flipowski. It's just hard to say whether they're going to keep him or not. And also, this happened a while ago on January 15th, but the Suns got Nick Richards from the Hornets and 1 second-round pick. And in return, the Hornets received Josh Okogie and 3 second-round picks. In my opinion, Not sure who these picks are going to end up being, but as of right now, the Suns definitely won this trade. Ever since they've gotten Nick Richards, he's played big minutes for them, and he's actually been contributing to the team very well. He's fit right in. So I think this is big for the Suns. For Joshua Okogie, though, I'm honestly not sure. I haven't seen enough of him to know, so I can't really comment on that. With that said, everything that I've mentioned so far in this video has happened within just the past few hours, like I said before, except for the last 2 or 3 things that I just mentioned. They happened earlier this season. I gave you all the dates. So most of the stuff is fresh. It's new. Looks like the Warriors are trying to make a big move. What it'll end up being, who knows? That they said they're in talks with pretty much every star you can think of. So they could bring in a couple different people. They could end up bringing in nobody because people probably don't want to have any of their trade assets, or the players probably don't want to be traded there. It's just hard to say. The Warriors are in a tough spot right now. If anything new comes out in these last 2 days of the trade deadline tomorrow, I will update you guys. However, I'm going to end today's video here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I'll upload daily. I'm on a daily journey right now. I'm going to upload for 500 days straight. I've got 34 days in right now, I believe, when this video goes up. Working on day number 35, so if you could watch it, I'd appreciate it a lot. If you're coming for just the NBA talks, I'd appreciate it. Drop a sub. Appreciate it so much. A like even. That'd be huge. Love you guys. Have a good rest of your days. Peace.